Hello everybody, welcome into Talking Fitchburg on this Tuesday, August 16th, 2022. I'm Jeremy Crosby. Hope you had a wonderful day. Glad you're tuning with us for Talking Fitchburg. Got a jam-packed show for you coming up. We'll get you the latest headlines, including the gift cards for guns results. And you are going to be amazed on what just came in on that. We'll have the details for you. Plus, we're going to take you out to last night's concerts at Mckee. Did you miss the final one? Well, we'll bring you some of the sights and sounds from another great concert series. It was the final one of the year, so you have to wait till next year. But we had three great bands. The Madison Music Founder Youth Band was also a part of it again this year, and thank you to all the bands. But we got to celebrate last night's bands, and they were amazing. We'll have that for you coming up. Plus, we check in with the Department of Trade Consumer Protection. If you're planning on traveling here in August, they want you to be ready for the airline woes, or if anything, to be aware of them. We'll break it all down for you coming up in just a little bit of time. But first, let's get you to the headlines. We start with that gift card for guns result. Happened over the weekend, and we have the results for you. First off, during the 4-hour event, there was a total of 577 weapons that were surrendered in exchange for $43,380 in gift cards for gas and groceries. That is just amazing. 266 cars went through the line, and here's the results. 333 long guns, including rifles, shotguns, and 11 assault-style rifles were handed in. 95 handguns, including revolvers and semi-automatic pistols. 93 pellet BB gun paintball guns were turned in. 1 crossbow pistol turned in. 55 homemade weapons, 3D slam guns, and 380 pounds of miscellaneous ammunition. And this was great to get this all turned in. And the Boys and Girls Club funds would, or in some cases, participants in their guns did not want to get gift cards. So that resulted in $1,400 of gift cards being available to others, which is pretty cool. So thank you for everyone who did turn in their weapons for this gift card for guns event. All right, turning our attention to November 8th, and the Verona Area School District has an operational referendum question on there. Want to make you aware of that. The district and board are not asking for more revenue. Rather, they are asking for permission to spend the same amount of tax dollars differently. Specifically, an improved referendum would mean spending more on student services and programs and less on payment of capital debt. You can see that from the chart there, breaking it down, the difference between capital and moving it over to operations. Check out their website for more information. Fitchburg Senior Center Friends has an opening position. If you'd like to join the board, they would love to have you. Looking for visionary leaders. First Thursday of each month is their meeting for this nonprofit 501(c)(3) organization. Stop by the Fitchburg Senior Center to pick up your application. Remember to check your appliances. Yes, check those appliances and those cords. And don't overload the cords because they heat up and, well, turn into fire. Yeah. So don't use extension cords with a heat-producing appliance like a microwave. The cord can overheat and cause a fire. Same with plugging in space heaters. Same deal. Don't plug them into an extension cord because they will light up for sure. All right, that does it for our headlines. Coming up next, we open up our digest with concerts at Mckee. That's right here on Talking Fitchburg.
You could be spreading the coronavirus without realizing you have it. So follow guidance from authorities where you live and do your part. It's important to limit in-person interaction with anyone outside of your immediate household. But phone and video chat are safe ways to connect. It's also important to limit any social gathering. This advice applies to people of any age, including teens and younger adults. Visit coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
Our hearts are made stronger by how we treat others.
Put her there.
The light you share can impact those around you, but so can the darkness.
Later, twerps.
Did Pete saying mean things bother you?
So when you reach out to another person, take a moment to consider how they will feel and let your heart be the key to making a difference. Because of you, someone's entire day, year, or even life can change.
In every heart, there's hope.
Brandon met a girl on a dating app. He finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving.
She must be a keeper.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu.
We don't have time for delays.
We don't have time for spills.
Next.
We don't have time for setbacks. Let's be real.
Getting the flu shot
helps you fight the flu.
Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg in the Digest. Now we're going to take you out to concerts at Mckee. The final concert happened last night. Perfect night out for some great music. Here's a look at that great event.
Welcome everybody to concerts at Mckee. Oh, you got it. Are we there? Can only the front row hear me? Welcome everybody to concerts at Mckee. Much better, thank you. My name's Nick, I'm here on behalf of Madison Music Foundry. You're about to hear one of our Madison Music Foundry bands, the Sandblasters, coming up here in a second. Madison Music Foundry is a 7,000 square foot rehearsal space, educational space, and a recording studio located right here in Fitchburg, Wisconsin. So without further ado, everybody give it up for the Sandblasters.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Revolu. We are a local Madison Afro-Caribbean band, and we're about to hit the stage at Mckee Farm Park at 7 p.m. in lovely Fitchburg. It's been about 3 years. Edu, he played this style of music in Peru professionally for many years. And when he got into town, he asked his cousin, Richie, like, hey man, I want to start a band like that here. Who do I have to talk to? And Richie said, talk to this guy right here. So he talked to me. We, in his living room, we got it started. We started singing, playing, drumming, and then finally we started, we were lucky enough to get some amazing people in the group. Also not present is Carlos Ramos of Puerto Rico. He also has a beautiful baritone voice, and he plays bass guitar. Yeah, so we started putting the band together. We had just two goals, really. One was to honor the music, do it as well as we could. And everybody here has a lot of experience doing this kind of music, so if I do say so myself, we definitely bring a level of professionalism that I enjoy. And the second thing was that we were going to be a band for dancers. So we wanted to get danceable tunes, not spend 20 minutes soloing and doing that kind of stuff. It was just more for the dancers. And consequently, we have a very loyal salsa dancer following in Madison, and most of the time you can really see them in their full splendor at Robinia Courtyard. We do every second and fourth Thursday there of the month in their courtyard. It's a beautiful location and it's a gorgeous night. Yeah, it's always in Spanish. Most of the music is Afro-Cuban, but we do have some Afro-Puerto Rican and Afro-Dominican things. We do a couple of original pieces, and the idea is that eventually we'll be an all-original band. But that takes time, because this music is pretty complicated. It's not like, I got 3 chord progressions, let's jam. So each piece takes a while to write. Then you have to do the charts for the horns, and then you got to get everybody together and so on. But one of our plans is to make an EP soon, of the original material that we do have as of this moment. I'm excited to see a broad cross-section of Fitchburg coming to enjoy us. We like playing stuff that maybe people don't normally hear all the time, and this is very positive and life-affirming music. So it's hard to feel sad when you're playing it, and we're just trying to bring a little bit of joy and a last summer hurrah before some of us have to go back to school. For Latinos, live music is paramount. I mean, we love DJs, but to get together with a live conjunto and have food and dancing and merriment like that, when you go to our countries, that's what you see a lot of. And so the important thing that we do is we bring a little bit of peace of home to the Latino community, and they love the fact that we sing in Spanish, and we're not trying necessarily to Americanize it that much. So they really enjoy that, and we enjoy that too. Okay, the meaning of Revolu. In Dominican Republic, Revolu means a commotion. And in Puerto Rico, Revolu means a mess. So
we're an organized chaos.
Yes, organized chaos. And the best, if you've discovered, some of the best things in life are some of the most messy. Mexican food, rolling around, playing around in the dirt. When you're a kid, you get dirty, you get messy, and that's the fun part of life. So if we have something to say, is don't be afraid to get messy in order to bring joy into your life.
Enjoy Revolu.
Enjoy Revolu. Look us up. We're on Facebook, Revolu Group. Revolu Group, all together, REBULU Group, Facebook and Instagram. Check us out. Our calendar's there. So you can continue to enjoy us.
There you have it. Thank you to, again, everybody who came out for Concerts at Mckee. Great job for the Chamber for putting this on, and thank you to all the bands who came out and played this year. Take a quick break. Coming up next, we open up the digest. We'll be talking about airline woes in August. Next right here on Talking Fitchburg.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be flood. Next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day.
I have no time for this.
So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Type 2 diabetes can have a big impact on your life, but how can it be prevented? Well, the first step is knowing if you have prediabetes, a serious medical condition that puts you at high risk for type 2 diabetes. 1 in 3 American adults has prediabetes, but more than 80% don't know they have it. The good news is, prediabetes can be reversed, and for many people, healthy changes in their daily routine can make a big difference. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantori here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family, and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
If you love them enough to suck the snot out of their nose at 4 a.m., then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining today from the Department of Aid, Trade, Consumer Protection. We got Michael back on the show. Michael, how you doing, sir?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. And you're probably here, and like I'm here, because traveling these days is a little bit tougher if you're going to try it by air. And, you know, it's the last part of the summer, so everybody wants to fit in those last minute trips and whatnot. But if you haven't been paying attention, it's kind of tricky out there when it comes to flying. So today we're going to talk about the woes of airlines and travel in August. What have you seen out there? The stories are definitely flying that there's definitely been a lot of travel hiccups from the airlines, passenger, you name it. But what have you guys seen as far as the reports?
Well, you are correct. We've seen the ebbs and flows of airline travel. Clearly, we've seen the reports where people are anxious to get back out and get on, out and see what they wanted to see for the past 2 years. And with that, it's going to bring some demand issues. All the other issues we've seen with supply and employment and all those things kind of tie together to create the perfect storm. And the airline industry isn't unique. And so what's happening, with DATCP is you're having certain cancellations and when they're happening and what representations are being made and, what impacts those have if they weren't accurate, if they weren't true, or if they didn't hold up their end of the line. And so we're here to kind of help more on the proactive side to say, hey, if you are going to travel and you're going to go ahead and take that vacation, which you certainly should try and do, just be smart about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll dive into some of these questions. You're here to answer some of these questions. So we'll start with the first one. Airlines must offer refunds for cancellations or significant delays on flights. True?
True. It does vary by carrier. Also the Department of Transportation, the FAA have certain requirements on, how long you're delayed, when you push away from the gate, cancellation times, depending on what you may be eligible for. But if it's outright canceled, you certainly are entitled to that refund and any other optional fees that were charged for canceling or that delay.
And do you know, is that not paying insurance or not pay, like if you take that extra insurance or there are other guarantees, how does that play into it? And I know that's kind of loaded because everybody has different plans, and unfortunately you don't have the book of airlines in front of you, but in general speaking terms, if they pull insurance for that, whether they have it or not, there are some, again, those minimal things that are guaranteed to you.
Yeah, so the insurance plans often cover you having to cancel for your own reasons or any other interruptions or additional expenses that you suffer due to some type of airline interruption. As far as the ticket itself and it being canceled, the flight being canceled, all those ticketing costs and any other fees that were charged by the airline, they're required to give those back to you. The insurance policies, and you hit on it, those are going to vary by plan, by program, by company. Those are going to cover all those additional charges those additional expenses that you're going to incur due to the cancellation.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that it's for you canceling a flight versus them canceling a flight. There are two different situations there. So you might think that your insurance, is like guarantees you a flight, and that's just not the case, or whatever, you name it. It's got some complications to it, maybe. Book an early flight so you don't get delayed. Boy, do I love this one.
This one is a great one. And if you think about it, it makes complete sense. The earlier you book, the more options you're going to have throughout that day for additional flights to try and make sure you get to your destination. In addition, a lot of carriers will rely on each other. If they have a canceled flight and they need to get someone to a certain destination, they'll reach out to partner carriers and try and get you on a flight. So just because you book on one airline and they cancel, you very well may get to your destination on another airline, but you can only do that if you book an early flight because it gives you more options throughout the day.
Yeah, and you don't know what's going to happen during the day of your flight with employees, weather, you name it. We know it in Wisconsin with the weather as it gets colder out, but we're seeing it all over the place, different times. So definitely love that early one. Just to go back to the consideration of travel insurance, probably more important here is understanding what you're purchasing when you get that insurance.
Correct. You want to read the fine print on when it actually qualifies and what expenses you're entitled to, and also the limits. Some of these policies may offer you, lodging or meal vouchers, but in certain markets, they may only cover half of what the real expense is, especially if you're trying to get those accommodations last minute when prices are going to be quite high. So read the fine print on what you're going to receive and whether it's worth that premium that you're going to pay.
Next one's one that I have, knock on wood, to this point, have always gotten my luggage back, and I'm so grateful for that. But packing some extra clothes and the necessities, because you just don't know when it's going to get there.
Yeah, I have not been as lucky as you. I have lost my luggage a few times. So I, like yourself, I always carry my first day and a half's worth of clothing and the toiletries to make sure that if that does happen, usually you get your bag within the first day or two. Of course, we all know someone or even experience it ourselves where it's been much longer than that. But at least that gives you time to, if need be, have something to wear when you go out to buy anything you need to replace, should it come to that.
Well, I'm sorry that has happened to you. That is, it's terrible feeling to know when your bags don't arrive, and then you're like, oh my gosh, when is it gonna come? So that's definitely a scary time. I also didn't know this, that lost luggage. What's the responsibility that airlines have when it comes to lost luggage?
They're required to find it, which you think, great, they should. Also. They're also, if there was any damage, because it made 17 extra flights that it wasn't supposed to, and now they're required to reimburse you for the damage that was incurred while it was in their, the luggage, and that's just not when it's lost. That's any time that you fly, and then they're also required to reimburse you for any expenses that you incur due to the delay of the luggage. So if you have, the wedding the next day and your suit was in the bag and you had to go buy one because you're in the wedding. Those types of things, in situations can be reimbursable.
Yeah, good to know. That's a really good one. This next one too. You guys are full of good ideas today here. Not that you're never, but these are just great. And because I've traveled a lot, it's like I can't believe I haven't thought of this. But calling the airline ahead of time, not rocket science, but trying to find out for delays and whatnot. But what about booking hotels nearby ahead of the game? Now that's a smart idea.
It is. And interestingly, I just had this happen to me about 2 months ago. I went on a trip, flight got canceled, and I did not follow this advice and had to get a hotel that evening, and ultimately ended up paying just about the rack rate because, when a flight gets canceled and it's a large, everyone's looking for a place to stay. So unfortunately, you're going to end up getting stuck paying, 2-3 times what you may pay if you book far out in advance. And if you have that cancellation policy, that's the day before, or even that day of by 4:00, you're not going to lose anything.
Yeah, that I cannot tell you how many times we've been delayed or moved around because of weather or something, and that is a brilliant idea. I can think of many different options where you want to do that, but definitely make sure you check your cancellation policy on that too to make sure you got it, because that'd be the worst thing to find out. Oh man, I missed it.
And also, don't forget that you booked it, and forget to cancel if you don't need it.
Why do I have this extra hotel stay? I'm calling DATCP. No, I got it. All right, we're out of time. I appreciate these are all great tips, Michael. And I love traveling, and certainly I'm willing to put up with some of the woes, if you will. But if people want to learn more about what we talked about today, or any information or reporting some of this stuff, where can they find that information at?
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. Wait, anytime you're online booking those tickets or looking for a vacation, just also take a swing over to our website, datcp.wi.gov. We have a lot of tools, things for you to think about as you continue to make those plans.
Yeah, this was great information, and you guys just keep surprising me each and every time we have you on here. So appreciate that.
Happy to help. Thanks.
Michael and the rest of the team will be back with us next month. Like he said, check the website for more information. And you'll find some interesting things out there on the website. I continue, to be amazed on everything that they've thought of to keep us safe out there, no matter what the topic is. We appreciate them. We'll take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
Como padre, todos los días son un desafío. Y hay que estar ahí presentes. No importa lo cansado que uno esté, hay que estar ahí presentes para ellos. Cuando los niños aprenden algo nuevo, es ese momento mágico y especial. Y creo que presenciar ese momento es mi favorito.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? I'm high. Oh.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Wrapping up the show, I want to thank Michael from the Department of Trade, Consumer Protection, and Ariana from our staff helping us out, taking us to concerts at Mckee, introducing us to the Rebella Group and their great music. It was a fun night at concerts. And again, thank you to the Fitchburg Chamber and all the partners for making it happen again this year. And thank you to Mother Nature for keeping it great weather. As we wrap up, remember you can stay connected with Fact TV right there and have yourself a good evening.
Thank you.